when you work with people, and also us, we will work with people. Um, when you work with people, disagreements are inevitable. What does that mean? You are bound to disagree, have a different opinion than us in different sectors, we do not have the necessary interpersonal skills. And this is something that is very important. When you find that people enjoy where they work, it sometimes, many a times, it's also because they have good relations with their colleagues. So you should strive for good relations with your colleagues. Good relations does not mean that you will not address things that are not right. You will still address them, but the manner in which you address them will be um, will be one that is the manner will be respectful and acknowledgement of the fact that I'm dealing with another individual. Daniel says the teacher standard, professional engagement. Professional engagement with one another. I think one thing that I always observe from teachers is that when they talk to one another, even if they are friends, they will never refer to one another on their first names. They will also say, yes, thank you, Teacher Daniel, for your contribution. Teacher Gisela, can you please come to my office? You know, they will always have that form of respect also in the way that they address one another. And you know what this does? This establishes this actually an opportunity for this is actually an opportunity for for learners to see appropriate respectful behavior being modeled. And Kali, you say that there's a problem with the network. Um, I will recap for our next session. I will recap on this topic again. Okay? And remember, we're just elaborating on the points. So if it is a general problem, um, I mean, there's not much that we can do now. I also see we are not many students have signed up for today's session. While for the previous session, we had many more students that signed up. Um, so promote the motto of cooperation, collaboration, and consultation among colleagues, provide opportunities for colleagues to express opinions and bring forth suggestions regarding the administration of the school. That is very important. There shouldn't be a situation where, just like in a classroom where there's favoritism, there shouldn't be favoritism amongst colleagues. Must respect different responsibilities assigned. Um, there will always be heads of departments, there will be subject heads in a school system. So for me as a teacher, I need to respect the person in authority. I need to cooperate with the person. If the person requires me, and I've heard people say this, when sometimes when the principal requires documents from teachers, some teachers will say, the principal is not my boss. You know, it's not about the principal is not my boss. It is about respecting the position that the principal has. It's about respecting the position that the teacher, that is the subject head, it is respecting that position that the person has and the responsibility that goes with that position. You may not undermine the confidence of parents, the community or learners in any colleague. Very important. Do not create a prejudice or a bias. Don't express your biases towards people and then try to influence others to in your wrong behavior. You want them to also dislike that child and that parent because you dislike them. So now you are spreading, it might be truthful information, but you are spreading information that will cause conflict. You may not undermine the status and authority or confidence of any colleague. This is the example I made now about the principal, where some teachers say the principal is not their boss, and then they don't want to adhere to instructions provided by the principal, don't undermine the authority of others. Petra says, at the school I did my SPS, there's a teacher who don't attend briefings and school meetings. He does not even communicate with other colleagues. As a principal, how are you going to handle this? Well, there are guidelines in terms of, I said there's an overall expectation. So the code of conduct is the overall expectation. Then the overall rules and regulations provided by the ministry. But then we have the school board. Now the school board refines some of the rules or guidelines provided by the ministry. So we have school rules and expectations for teachers, and we have school rules and expectations for learners. So this teacher technically is not adhering to some of the contextual obligations. Remember, we said, let me go to that slide quickly. We said that as a teacher, you need to adhere to your contextual obligation. On this slide, the fourth bullet point, fulfill contractual obligations to the best of his or her ability. So attending meetings and attending morning briefings is basically part of your contractual obligations, so that you know what is expected. Because most probably, if there is a change in the timetable for the day, because there's something out of the ordinary happening on that particular day, then usually that information is shared during a morning briefing. So if a teacher does not adhere to that, the teacher they can that before people, sometimes we just say things about colleagues or people around us, or even public figures, we just say they really don't care about the effect of their behavior on other people. So it is also necessary that you do not make yourself guilty of this, trying to get somebody fired basically, just so that you can get their position. You may not discriminate against a colleague on the basis of health or disability, may not sexually harass or in any way abuse a colleague. And this is something that is many times not talked about, especially when young teachers start at a school and they have a mentor teacher, and the mentor teacher basically takes advantage of them in one way or another. So it is important that you, as an individual, identify the warning signs of possible abuse, so that you don't fall victim to abuse within the school system. Sometimes some of you are already quite mature. You've worked in other fields. You know what it means to. But some of you are also fresh from high school, basically. So you are in your third year of study. The only exposure to work was when you did your SPS. So the interaction with colleagues is so many. These are the individuals that might fall victim from senior Okay. For it really productive to offer learning support to one child only after others have gone home. A grade one child faced by two junior at the same time shouting, will this kid pick up something from that assault happening? Um, Paulina's again, it really if you are shouting at a child, then that child's ears just shut for the information. So, so also our teaching method, the way you teach learners, it is important that you are teacher, you are teach what works for your classroom. And I can assure you to myself, the child will not take in the information. To I think what Giovanni said, discipline, yeah, yeah, and see that you are winning. When you shout the state,
Wow.
and you do it in an appropriate ways, it can be effective. It can be effective to assist the child that is struggling. Um, our school system, the classes, you have a situation of learners in one class. It is very easy for us to get lost. What I lost is they, they, they miss out on the information. Or that in the classroom might not be able to identify early on. So maybe after that there are some schools that do that. After the first trimester, identify that so already after the first trimester, once they've identified that, then it becomes the responsibility of class teacher or sub teacher, depending what ability to teach the learner. So if it goes well, yes, we can have that, but sure doesn't have the right, then it can have a positive effect on the learner. People have a negative effect on the learner. So also teacher as an educator, see, don't forget the role is very important. Doctors, they have a very in society because and it's the truth. But you know, if educators don't what they're supposed to do, if educators don't take the profession, they can also destroy our future. So, of in that, it's important that you do profession maintain the honor and dignity of the profession inside and outside of school time. You know, many young teachers they say, but we are young people. Even if we are a teacher, we still do what we like to do. But you know, learners are looking towards. They are looking at you. Example. So if you, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't. Okay, maybe I am saying you shouldn't go to bars, but if you are constantly in the bar and you have inappropriate behavior, and you know, it also comes if you wear clothes that are inappropriate, you know what I mean? Um, they will disrespect you because of that, unfortunately, or they will see it as appropriate and do the same. So in these types of issues, you don't have to stand on because the learners know, but man, you go to, you are also regular visitors to the part that I visit. Yeah, so, uh, and that is one thing as a teaching member. To have this noble people will look at a positive example, peace, unity, and collaboration. So, do not engage in activity affect the quality of the teacher's professional service, ignite your dedication, self-discipline, and the quality of education. So, or make an effort in developing yourself. Once you finish your qualification at IUM, don't stop there. Constantly attend workshops, do online courses. I mean, here you are exposed to online, to e-learn. So do online courses. Make you are ahead of your game so that you know what um, what new changes takes place um, in your profession. Uh, Dress in an appropriate manner. Yes, I've talked about that now. And appropriate does not mean you have to wear your quick farewell dress every other day. It does not mean that the gentleman must have on a suit and a tie. And you know, sometimes, especially with the gentlemen, when they do wear their suits or they wear their ties regularly, there's just a level of knowledge to that. But that is not necessarily the expectation. You can still have comfortable clothes on and still be dressed appropriately. Um, so, under no circumstances, attend school activities while under the influence. Now, this is also an issue because we do find, we have heard of school events, teachers intoxicated. And you know, when you do that, um, you show learners or you tell learners this is appropriate. Remember, they are looking to you for a positive, um, to be a positive model to them. Whether you want to be a role model or not, when you are in this profession, it is uphold the professional order to teaching status of the profession. Um, the teachers will um, will be the image of the teaching profession. Take the necessary steps to contribute to the profession to eradication of HIV and AIDS in the spirit of the national policy on HIV and AIDS in the education sector. Um, and learning and the teaching environment, ensure and protect safety of learners in schools and hostels. Um, you take responsibility of these learners like a parent would take responsibility of their children. Ensure that schools and hostels become institutions that promote the well-being and happiness of learners. So you go beyond just the content, you also look at the learner as an individual, as a person. Take pride and ownership in and responsibility for the school and the hostel facility. Um, Responsibility, we talked about giving the learners responsibility, but the teacher must also take responsibility. Foster a sense of pride, okay, I already said that. Um, in knowledge of respect and respect for the Namibian national symbols, yes. Instill in the learners from an early age the need to protect, preserve, and conserve the environment. So if you as a teacher, you throw out papers through the window, then teachers will see that as inappropriate behavior. So remember that you must take note of that. Conduct yourself, Daniel says, conduct yourself in a way that you enjoy the teaching profession. Indeed, um, you profession is includes these guidelines as they are written here, what we are reading now. But in the end, when you are performing your teaching duty, then you become the teaching profession. You become the image for others to see what it is like to be a teacher. And so a reference is amendment of regulations made under Education 2000. We can also under that you will find code of conduct, which will also be what we will talk about. It will be very similar to today's session when we next continue with our discussion next. Any questions? Questions? Evangeline says, Paulinus, I think that is really wrong and as a grade one, so young and fresh brain, that is already a damage done to that child. Just imagine all that you will be thinking about. No, it is true. I agree that it is not appropriate for you to, as a teacher, to shout. Not only at a grade one learner. You know, a shouting teacher is an effective teacher. That means you don't have control over your class and you're resorting to shouting, you're resorting to inappropriate disciplinary action towards your learner. So you as a teacher must have management strategy, things that you can do to make sure that you are in control of your class. And shouting is not one of them. Okay, so any comments? What was your experience with today's session apart from the network issues you experienced? Anything contribute? Need a good way of studying to change the topic questions, the subheadings, change them into a study resource.